is going on here? Well, what's happening in America is the average testosterone levels in men. Testosterone is associated with dopamine. Testosterone gives you the energy and the potency to follow through. Dopamine says, get your job done, get you excited, get your brain happy, get you motivated, feel passion. The good thing about dopamine is a relationship can create dopamine on an ongoing basis if the relationship is always challenging you in new and different ways, or if your partner is different in new and different ways. Well, for men, that's easy if you're married to a woman. Every day, she's a different being, and you got to celebrate that. One of the things I teach men is stop thinking you can make a woman happy. See, all men are always getting bummed out. You know this, women. Whenever you're a little unhappy, what does the man go? Why are you so unhappy? What's wrong with you? Why are you complaining? Or if you say, oh, it's like, you know, so much traffic these days. It's awful, you know. I was on the freeway. I got stuck in traffic 45 minutes. I can't believe it. And he says, well, what freeway were you on? Well, you should have taken a side road, you know, the street from here to here to here. And, of course, he's thinking, I'm helping. He only wants to help you, but at that point, he's trying to fix you. And that's not what she's looking for. How many women can relate to this, not wanting men to fix you? Okay, now I'm a famous therapist. My wife, if I give her any piece of advice at all, I don't want to hear that from you. I'll pay for that service. When you're with a partner, you don't want them telling you what to do. You don't want them telling you how to feel, and it goes both ways. Except it's a little different, Mars and Venus. After 40 years of counseling, many years before 40 years, I began to hear a distinction between men and women. Women were often frustrated because they felt, and they still do, he doesn't listen. And of course, being a man who's married, I go, what are you talking about? I can say everything you just said. Because we can be thinking about something else, but there's a little recorder back here that says, gather information in case necessary. My wife did this like in the first year we were married. We've been married 31 years, but I still remember that first year. I learned so much about women. They were like from another planet. But who teaches Mars, Venus? Who teaches how to balance the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves? Now, some of you might be familiar with some of the Taoist philosophies and some of the Chinese philosophies, the ancient Hindu philosophies, a lot of these ancient systems which talk about yoga and meditation for your health, for your vibrancy, for your spiritual growth, for peace of mind, for joy. And they always talk about balancing the male and female energies. Well, today, things have changed tremendously from then. Couples, basically, I call them role mates. Up until last 30 years, men and women are basically two different roles. A man is over here doing male things that stimulate male hormones. What are the male hormones? Testosterone, that's it. And some extra dopamine. So testosterone, men need 30 times more testosterone than a woman. Some men 10 times more. So if a man doesn't have that testosterone, it's very hard for a woman to get turned on to him. There's a little Geiger counter inside of that computer in there that says, hey, this guy doesn't have the strength to take care of me. I can't get pregnant with him. And so you don't get turned on to him. So if you want your wife to be turned on to you, you have to have more testosterone than her. Now this is the sad truth. The sad truth is half of couples who are married don't have sex at all, sexless marriages. Half of men at 50 have the average man at 50 years old in America has half the testosterone he had when he was a young man. Now, I have 25% higher testosterone than I had when I was a young man. Now, how did that happen? Well, I'm going to teach you today. There's a lot of information about hormones that has never been known before. There's all this amazing research that comes out, and I go, wow, that explains this, because I observed it for 40 years. But now you can explain it. Because the traditional roles that we have been having on this planet for thousands of years, and this is a planet which has been filled with war and sexual discrimination and sickness and all kinds of problems have been around this planet, but we survived and we grew. And all of this generation, we can do better. We want better. We know we can have better. And why do we know? Because there's a huge shift in consciousness. Health awareness, relationship awareness, peace awareness. And in my generation, it started in the 60s. We all, basically guys, we all just said, don't wear the tie anymore. We said, grow our hair out. wear bell-bottom pants. I got kicked out of high school for wearing bell-bottom pants, if you can imagine that. Growing your hair out. They make you cut your hair. And wearing pink shirts. What was all that about? And protesting for peace. Now we're protesting for equality, for the poor people. We should have been doing that a long time ago. But why? Because men are now connecting with their heart.